classes. Today I am going to discuss the poem The Spider and the Fly by Mary Botham Howitt. So Mary Botham Howitt published this poem actually in 1828 with the subtitle A Cute Version of a Scary Story. A cute version of a scary story. That was first in 1828. Later on, and it was published in her collection in 1834. As you can see, collections of the collection name is Sketches of Natural History, 1834. Later on, it was published like that. This collection was a series of poems written to educate children about the realities of the natural world. So it was a kind of an educational collection of poems to provide teachings to children, moralistic teachings to children about the ways of the world. So this poem is also like that. Now it's a cautionary tale, a fable. A fable, as you know, first of all, it's a the characters here are mostly animals and they act like human beings. They speak, they have their own characteristics, they have their good points as well as their bad points. So that's a fable, and importantly, it carries a message inside it. It carries inner meaning, like slow and steady win the race was the theme which was highlighted in that story of the hare and the tortoise. So similarly, this poem also is a fable and has a theme in it. Okay, so we'll come to that later on. So now cautionary tale. What is a cautionary tale? Cautionary tale means it's a kind of a warning. Okay, caution means a warning. So it's a cautionary tale. It's a story with a caution, with a warning that highlights the disastrous consequences of flattery on gullible and knave minds. So what does it do? It highlights the disastrous consequences, the very dangerous consequences of flattery. Very important term, flattery, F-L-A-T-T-E-R-Y, flattery, on gullible and knave minds. Gullible means who are easily cheated, gullible who are easily deceived. Knave means very innocent, kind, just as children are. Such minds are easily molded, such minds are easily changed by people who are manipulative, people who can control. Such people can easily control and manipulate such easy, innocent characters. So it's a kind of a warning for them. It was originally meant for children. It is relevant even in this time. So now, although this poem is meant originally for children, but later on in today's context, if you discuss, it is very important. It is very, very relevant in the sense that just as we give teachings to children, similarly some people, elders in particular, the adults, they also need this kind of education. This education of being aware of flattery, that is definitely needed by adults also. In a way, it is also referring to women. Okay, women are also innocent, women are also easily gullible, and different kinds of false promises, different kinds of flattery often takes them in, just like children are. So, in a way, it is for those very simple-minded men as well as those women also, and ladies also, who are easily deceived, who are easily taken in, who are easily fall into the trap of flattery. Okay. Now, so next is here you have two important characters as the title suggests, the spider and the fly. So you have the spider, you have the fly. The spider stands for various manipulative elements within our society. The manipulative elements, those characters in society who are very shrewd, who are very clever, who can easily manipulate, who can easily make a fool out of you. So the spider stands for such characters. And how vanity and pride can have disastrous consequences on a discerning mind. Yes, vanity and pride sometimes indeed brings about the downfall. In this regard, it is somewhat like that story of the deer with the horns, and she was very proud of her horns, and that pride ultimately led to her downfall. Her horns got caught in the bushes, and she felt pride of those horns, and it is ultimately those horns which led to her downfall. So here that is being reflected here. The next point is, initially the spider tries to tickle the fly's curiosity by describing the different rooms like the parlor, the bedroom, etc. So these things are highlighted out: the drawing room, the bedroom, the pantry. All these are objects of curiosity for anyone. So anyone might be taken in and deceived. So the spider at first tries to lure the fly using all these tricks, that you want to see my dining room, you want to see the parlor, you want to see the pantry, come, let's see. So first he tries to tickle the curiosity of the fly, and out of curiosity maybe he might get trapped. So that's what he tries at first. But when it does not work, he uses a little dose of praise and flattery, which kills the fly and traps it. And what does he do when this curiosity trick doesn't work? He uses the trick of praise. He uses the trick of flattery, and something which has never been done to the fly at all. If you take another story or another fable, there's the story of that fox and the crow. The crow had a piece of meat in its mouth and was sitting on the branch of a tree, and the fox came and wanted that piece of meat and said, "You are such a wonderful bird, you look so beautiful, this, that," and he falsely praised that crow. And the crow got deceived because no one had praised the crow at all. They praise other birds for their beauty and for their voice, but this is the first time someone is praising him for his appearance, for his voice, and that's what deceives the crow. And what he does, when he's asked to sing, he is flattered and he tries to sing. The moment he opens his mouth, the piece of meat falls down. The fox takes that piece of meat and runs away. So here also the same kind of trick is used. The fly has never been praised. It's not an attractive insect, so it has never been praised by anyone at all. So herein, when the spider praises the fly is at a loss. No one has praised me like this before, so it is shocked. It is kind of taken in very easily by that flattery and praise, and therein it is deceived. It falls into that trap of deceit, of trickery, of praise, and is caught in the web and ultimately dies. So that's actually the trick, the way in which the poem functions. As it is said that when curiosity doesn't work, definitely so it is said that where curiosity doesn't do the trick, therein praise, flattery, and such other things do their job. So here also in this case you have the flattery working in the case of the spider and fulfilling his objective. So these are basically some points. It's a very simplistic kind of a poem. Let's move on to the text. The text page number is 29, Spider and the Fly, by Mary Botham Howitt. So as you will see, it's a very conversational kind of a poem with a very conversational tone. The spider saying something, the fly giving a reply. So it's a conversational kind of, and they are very witty dialogues. The poem is enlightened. The poem is brightened up by the use of these witty dialogues. Okay, the conversation between them. "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. Now the spider doesn't mention his web. He mentions a parlor, which is a sitting room. So he doesn't say come into my web. No, he doesn't say that. That would make it very obvious. So he says, "Will you walk into my parlor?" said the spider to the fly. "It's the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy." So it's a very childlike rhyme that is used with fly and spy. Very easy to the mouth. There is no difficult construction of sentences and all. It's very easy and simplistic. So what he does is first he gives the invitation of the parlor and then goes on one by one to give a description. Similarly, you will see with the case of the pantry, similarly with the case with the dining room, the bedroom also, you will see. So it's the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. You have not seen, you have not spied, you have not seen such a beautiful parlor. The way into the parlor is up a winding stair. Up a winding stair means it goes up windingly. Actually, if you see the web, there are steps like. If you reach the center, there are steps. The web. So that is what he refers to. But he refers to in a different way. Winding stair as if. And I have many pretty things to show when you are there. Once you come here, I will show you many pretty things. So until unless you come here, you won't be able to see those pretty things. Now, if you are taken in by the curiosity, you will go there. And once you go there, you will be eaten up by the spider. So those pretty things are all a trap, all false things, false words of promise made by the spider. So, of course, there is no such pretty things in the web of a spider except for those dead bodies, the skeletons and all that. Oh no, said the little fly. The fly is very careful now in this particular point. It says, no. To ask me is in vain. Vain means useless. Don't ask me. It's in vain. It's useless to ask me to come to that parlor. For who goes up your winding stair can never come down again. Here she is very cautious. The spider is very cautious. No, I won't go up those stairs because if I go up there, I know I'm not going to come back. It's a one-way kind of a lane. I go back. I go there. There's no return ticket. Okay. So here at present, at this particular point of time, the fly is very cautious. The fly is very careful and very practical and says that. Yes, sorry, thank you for your invitation, but no, I won't go there. It's a one-way traffic. I know that. I am not going to go there. So, this attempt of the spider is unsuccessful. It tries the second attempt. I am sure you must be weary, dear, with soaring up so high. Now, a fly is a very active kind of insect. So, it flies about just like the bee. So it says, you must be weary. Weary means tired. You must be very tired, dear. With soaring up so high, you fly so high up. Here and there, you must be tired. You have flown so long distances here and there. So, will you rest upon my little bed? Said the spider to the fly. So the spider said, will you rest on my bed? My little bed, will you rest there? So that's the temptation, to rest. This is the second temptation. And then he goes on to describe the bedroom and he says, there are pretty curtains drawn around, the sheets are fine and thin. So the bedroom has fine, pretty curtains. The sheets are fine and thin. The bed sheets which are laid on the bed, they are very thin and they are very fine, of good quality. And if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in. So if you like, I can snugly and easily tuck you in those fine clothes, just as a mother wraps up her child in those fine clothes, bed clothes. Similarly, if you want, you lie down there, have a nice rest. I will cover you up with all those fine bed sheets and linen that I have there. So this is an invitation for rest. And any tired person would obviously be taken in, just like a fly is an industrious creature. It might be taken in by this invitation. But no, here again the spider is unsuccessful because the fly is very cautious. The fly is very, very cautious and says no. Oh no, said the little fly. For all, I have often heard it said, they never wake again who sleep upon your bed. So it's very cautious. It says, no, thank you. I have often heard, what I have heard? They never wake again. The use of never, giving emphasis, giving force, and saying that no. They never wake again who sleep upon your bed. Whoever sleeps on your bed, I have heard, they do not wake up. They sleep for their entire life. That means they die. They sleep the eternal sleep of death. Whoever sleeps on your bed. So, sorry, I am not going to be tempted and go and relax on that soft bed with the nice, soft bed clothes that you say. Sorry, those sheets are fine, I know, the curtains are nice, okay, let them be. I am not going to be tempted, I am not going to go there. Next, said the cunning spider to the fly, dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I have always felt for you? Cunning spider, word cunning used with the spider, because the cunning is a word which we associate with such intelligent and very wicked and scheming kind of characters like the spider. So the spider is said to be very cunning. Cunning spider to the fly. Dear friend, what can I do to prove the warm affection I have always felt for you? I have always felt warm affection for you. So what can I do to prove it? All this is all a lie, all false. So he says, what can I do to prove that warm affection I have for you? I have great feelings, great affection, great love for you. What can I do to prove it? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you are very welcome. Will you please to come and take a slice? So the spider tempts the fly saying, I have a lot of nice things in the pantry. Now pantry is a small room or a cupboard where things were kept like a storeroom. In earlier days you didn't have a refrigerator. In ancient times you didn't have a refrigerator. You had a pantry, kind of a storeroom to keep all those things, food items in storage. So he says, I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice, all the nice things, nice delicacies I have in my pantry. It's all stored up in those cupboard in that room. I'm sure you are very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? So I am ready to share my food with you. I am ready to serve you food. What do you want to eat? Tell me. I am ready to serve you. So he is here ready to offer his services in terms of serving him like a good host. What you will eat? Tell me. My pantry is full of all these things. What delicacy will you eat? So here is the temptation of food. So first you have the temptation of the parlor, which is a kind of a curiosity trick used wherein you want to see things, this or that. Just like people's dining drawing room are decorated with different things. So that curiosity trick was used. That was unsuccessful. Second, he used the trick of the bed, the resting kind of trick, wherein people sometimes like to laze around, take rest on the bed and sleep on soft bed. That trick also didn't work. Now the third trick is of food, the temptation of food. Maybe he thought the fly will be tempted with food. So he says, my pantry is full of all the different kind of things. Come and have your slice, what do you want to eat and all. So he uses this trick. Oh, no, said the little fly. But here again the fly is very cautious. Then says, kind sir, that cannot be. I've heard what is in your pantry and I do not wish to see. So here he says, you are a spider, I know what your pantry can be filled up with. I know all the things. I don't need to see all those things. I don't need to taste those things also. So, let your invitation stay with you. I am not going to be tempted with that invitation of food, of having all those things from that pantry. Sweet creature, said the spider. So this trick also didn't work. Now he uses the trick of flattery. When he sees all these three things not working, he uses the trick of flattery and praise. Sweet creature, said the spider, you are witty, you are wise. Herein comes the praise and flattery. He says, you are witty, you are very intelligent, you are wise, you are handsome. How handsome are your gauzy wings? Gauzy wings means very thin and transparent wings, like a dragonfly's wings. If you have seen that, all the veins and everything is visible like a tracing paper. So the wings of the fly are also like that. It says your gauzy wings, how handsome they are, how brilliant are your eyes. They are very black, shiny eyes. So your eyes are very brilliant. I have a little looking glass upon my parlor shelf. If you will step in a moment, dear, you shall behold yourself. He says, I have no other intention but to invite you to come to the parlor so that you may come and take hold of that parlor mirror, that looking glass which is there. You come here, you just have a glance and have a look at yourself in that looking glass. That's all I want. And you can behold yourself. That means you can see yourself. Just for one moment you come, take that looking glass, look at yourself, and you will be happy to see your handsome appearance. And that's all I want. I don't want anything. Herein the fly is deceived, because you will see the reply. In the first three cases, immediately she had said, no, I don't want to come. Here she says, I thank you, gentle sir. The reply has changed. See, I thank you, gentle sir, she said, for what you are pleased to say. I am very happy for whatever you have said. Thank you for that, sir. And bidding you good morning now, I'll call another day. He says, okay, thank you for inviting me. Good morning for now. I'll come another day. So there is the hope of coming another day, which is said here. I'll come another day. She immediately does not negate and say, no, I'm not going to come at all, like in the first three cases. But here she says, thank you for your invitation. I'll come some another day. Today I am going away and I am pleased. And she for the first time says, I thank you, gentle sir, which shows that she is deceived. The spider turned him round about and went into his den. So the spider left him there and went into the den, his den. For well he knew the silly fly. See, earlier you had the use of cunning spider. Here you have the use of another adjective for the fly, which is a silly. For the spider, the word used is cunning. So it's a very manipulative kind of a character, a very tricky kind of a character, the spider. But the fly is a silly, foolish, naive, innocent kind of a creature. So silly fly would soon be back again. So why did he go into the den? He knew very well, my trick has worked. The fly is going to be coming very soon to my den. So he wove a subtle web in a little corner sly. Subtle means a very delicate, very invisible kind of a web. In a little corner sly. What is sly? Sly means very wickedly, very cunningly. In one corner of the entrance, it had woven a web which you cannot see. It's kind of transparent, invisible. And set his table ready to dine upon the fly. He is very, very confident the fly is going to come. Today my dinner is made. It is going to be of the fly. Then he came out to his door again and merrily did sing. Again he came out, and this time merrily and in a happy tone it sang. What did it sing? Come hither, hither, pretty fly, with a pearl and silver wing. Come hither, come here. Hither means an old English word, an archaic word. Come hither, come here, pretty fly, with a pearl and silver wing. Your wings are of pearl and silver. Your robes are green and purple. Your robes means your dress. It is made up of, it's of green color, it's of purple color. There's a crest upon your head. There's a kind of a small crest, a crown-like on your head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. You are such a beautiful creature. Your eyes are like the diamond which is shining brightly. Mine are dull as the lead. So that's what she says, the spider says. Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, again silly use for the fly, hearing his wily flattering words, came slowly flitting by. Alas, the poet is sad that alas, the fly has fallen into the trap. So the silly fly, hearing his wily flattering words, you know, wily means very shrewd, very cunning words, which came slowly flitting by, it slowly came flying by, deceived by those tricky words of the spider. With buzzing wings she hung aloft, then nearer and nearer drew. Buzzing wings, the wings made a buzzing sound, just like mosquitoes' wings make a buzzing sound similarly. Here also, she hung aloft, she hung about in the air. So the spider had tempted the fly, and the fly came buzzing and flying. With buzzing wings she hung aloft. Hung aloft means she is literally undecided how to enter, or whether to enter or not. She's just thinking about all those things. Then nearer and nearer drew. Slowly but surely she is slowly advancing towards that den of the spider, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue. She is now kind of hypnotized by all those words, all those flattering that the spider has done. She's only thinking about her brilliant eyes, the green and purple hue. Hue means color. The beautiful robes that she has. She's thinking about her beautiful wings, the brilliant eyes, and this and that. All the praise which the spider has said. She is thinking about all this. And in that mental state, her practicality is gone. Her logical thinking is gone. Everything is gone. It is clouded by all these flattering words which the spider has said to her. So it is deceived. It is trapped. And it is in this way slowly but surely making its way towards the den of the spider. Thinking only of a crested head, poor foolish thing. That is why the poet in the end says, poor foolish thing. Why? You are easily taken in by the words of the spider. You are easily deceived by the words of the spider. Your thinking, your rational thinking is clouded by all this flattery of the spider. At last up jumped the cunning spider and fiercely held her fast. So when the fly came very near, very close to or within the grasp of the spider jumped. The cunning spider, again cunning is used, fiercely held her fast. Fiercely means very strongly, held her fast, held her very strongly in his hands. He dragged her up his winding stair into his dismal den. So he dragged up the winding stairs of its parlor and of his den into the dismal den. What is dismal? Very dark and gloomy den. The spider's den cannot be a bright illuminated one. It not be a nice place. It's a dark, gloomy den. Within his little parlor, but she never came out again. So he dragged the spider dragged the fly into its parlor, and it was gone forever, and it never came out. This fly was never seen again coming out of that dismal den. That means it was a dead creature eaten up by the spider. The spider was successful in its plan. It has entrapped the fly. The fly is deceived. The fly is dead. And dead why? Because it has fallen into that trap of praise and flattery. And now, dear children, who may this story read, to idle, silly, flattering words, I pray you, never give heed. So children, you are like those innocent fly. That innocent fly, you are like that innocent fly. So do not be deceived by idle, silly, flattering words. Otherwise, you will end up in the same condition as that of the fly. This is the moralistic teaching being given by Mary Howitt. She says, children, you are like the fly. There are many characters, many people outside, like evil characters, cunning characters, like the spider, who will try to deceive you with idle, silly, flattering words. Do not be taken in. I pray you, never give heed. Never give heed means do not give any notice. Do not give any notice to such words of these people. Unto an evil counselor's close heart, ear and eye. Evil counselor. What is the meaning of counselor? Advisor. Counselor means advisor. What kind of counselor is not a good counselor? These people are not good counselors. They are evil counselors. They are bad people. So when these people come in with their silly, idle, flattering words, you close your heart, you close your ears, you close your eyes, and in that way you will not be affected by those idle, flattering words. In that way you will be saved. You will not be entrapped like the fly was. And take a lesson from the tale of the spider and the fly. And if you are still not clear, then you take the lesson of the spider and the fly, and you will understand what happened to that fly once it was deceived, once it fell into the trap of the flattering words. So, if you fall into the trap of flattering words, this is what is going to happen to you, just as the fly was trapped. So, just as it is said that curiosity killed the cat, it's a common proverb, curiosity killed the cat. Similarly, it is actually praise and flattery that killed the fly in this case. So, a very simplistic and easy kind of a poem of your ISC syllabus containing this moral teaching about flattery and its after effects. I hope you have been able to understand the poem so far as I have tried to explain to the best of my abilities. And if you found it helpful, of course, like and share this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your love and support.